Can you believe white is able to draw this position? If we look at just the material, white is dead lost. Usually what happens already by now is that you saw two possible moves. Taking here with check or giving a check here. Let's analyze the first variation, which is taking on c7. The king escapes, you give another check because you have no other move. The king goes to a8. And now, my friend, you're doomed because you have no other checks and this one is coming and it's going to be really, really hard to not lose actually this rook. So this is not the solution. Taking this pawn and being greedy is a mistake. And now you just saw maybe that you have actually a check here. And this would be a checkmate if the queen wasn't here, but the queen is here. And now he covers. You have two types of players. The lazy thinker who thinks, I'm just going to take the queen and calculate after. Because come on, there is only one move in this position, which is taking the queen and then you try to save actually the pawn endgame. Because think about it here. You kind of have the intuition, if you've been playing chess, that there is something that white can do to save the game. But then there is fear, because you're thinking, if I give a check and he gives me his queen, I have to take it. Let's say you're playing in a team of 4 players. It happened to me when I was playing in a team when I was a kid. I was like, if I lose this game, I'm gonna cost my team. So I started playing worse because of fear. If something like this would happen to me, I would just take this queen. I would just take it thinking my partners cannot criticize me after the game for not taking the queen that was given to me. And I get that. Then you have the other kind of players. I'm pretty sure there is no other move than just taking the queen here. So I'm just going to take it on the spot in 1 second. And then I'm going to see if I can save actually this endgame. But you have to go deeper. And if your intuition is telling you something, maybe you have to listen to it. You know, like we say, the intuition is the whisper of the soul. And here we feel like there is something that white can do to actually draw the game. Have you seen it by now? There is 2 possible ways to save such positions. Either by stalemate, or if the pawn endgame, after you exchange these two, if this pawn endgame is actually a draw. There is only two possible ways. If someone tells you, okay, white to play and draw, either this pawn endgame, after you exchange the pieces, is going to be a draw, or you're going to find a stalemate. Now, the issue is this. If you take, this is a blunder. Because when he takes, this pawn endgame is actually winning for black. Because you cannot go anywhere. You cannot go to these squares. This is the issue. So what you have to do is that you have to go this way. And now all he has to do is bring his king up the board. And that's it. This one is the hero of the story. He's going to go to queen. That's it. Goes like this, and there is no way to stop this pawn. So that's not the way to think here about this. As you can see, taking the queen leads to a pawn endgame that is totally losing. So how does white manages to actually draw in this game? And the move here in this position to draw the game is rook g8. Because first thing, if the queen takes, this is a stalemate. This is not a stalemate that happens very often, but that's a beautiful one. I like it. Basically, black doesn't have any move. They cannot move the queen. If the king moves, now we just take the queen. If this one moves away, we just take the queen for free and we win the game, actually. So there is only one possible move, which is a5. But there is a big difference. Because once he goes to f5, now this square becomes available for this king. And it changes everything, because now you can take the queen. When he takes, you have this square. You didn't have it when the pawn was here. I know it's hard. I get it. It's not easy to find. But now you have it in your mind. Which means, even if the position is not the same one, you're going to find it. Because after this, actually what happens, the big difference is that the king is able to take the pawn, defend his own pawn, and this position, my friend, is a total draw.